Keepers of the Cork Flame. After 18 championship seasons, Ger Cunningham hands on the torch to Donal Óg Cusack. Dublin's Keith Barr looks back on the day when he was slightly wide of the mark. And where now for Offaly's footballers as they face a make-or-break date with All-Ireland finalists Kildare. Last week, bang, you're alive. Davy Fitz saves Clare. Another draw as Donegal catch Armagh. No trouble for Dublin against Louth, nor for Meath who brush aside Wicklow. And Galway's All-Ireland title comfortably survives the weekend away in London. Are the bells which tolled for Clare last Sunday now tolling for Tipperary? It took 2 exceptional goals to breach Brendan Cummins' defences. Breaking Ball talked to Tipperary star goalkeeper about the drawn Guinness Munster hurling semi-final. What did he make of the biggest match of the year so far?
The worst part of the whole day, I suppose, for me was when we travelled from the bus to the field. It's the most nerve-wracking thing. You can see the crowd either side. You could really, just then you start to get thrown into the atmosphere of the whole occasion, like, you know, and that's when the nerves really start to jangle. The atmosphere Sunday was absolutely brilliant, you know. I mean, the Tipperary crowd really got behind us, and I think it's the best I've ever heard coming out onto the field for our Tipperary team. And I think it showed too in the play. The players are really up for it, you know. And once the crowd gets behind you like that, and you hear the roar, you know you have the whole county behind you, and it's a great feeling. It just adds to the whole thing. It gives you an edge, I think, to be nervous before games and have that kind of atmosphere and take it all in. I think in the balance of the whole game, I think they probably deserved a draw. You know, the experience they have around the middle of the field in Colin Lynch and Ollie Baker, and that half-back line really showed, like, you know, in the last 10 minutes when we put it up to them, they showed that they have it in them to come back, and I think it's a sign of a great team we can do that. Davy would be very happy with the penalty. No, he was very well struck. You know, I mean, Davy is very good. He's a good shot in the ball, and his confidence is very high because he was playing very well. He had a great game. You know, so coming up, we knew, like, his confidence was high and he was going to be hitting it well, and he did. Fair play to him. And I suppose if he was deserved to get a draw, it was that penalty, because it was very well done. You're only hoping that it hits you or hit some part of the hurley, because the ball is travelling so fast, especially with Davy hitting it. You know, it's only just his pot luck, but he did strike it very well. Fair play to him. He asked the umpire how long was left, and he said there's about 4 minutes left. He said plus stoppages. He said to me, you know, at that stage we were 3 points up, and I thought maybe, but I always felt that we didn't get the 4th point, like, that we were going to be struggling, because Clare, I knew we were going to come with a big push. Like, you could see looking around the field, they never panicked. You know, and I mean, they were always very cool and calm. They're a sign of a team that have great confidence in their own ability, you know, and I mean, again, like, they did show that they're a fine side by coming back and getting the goal in the finish.
Inside towards Clancy. Can he go by Heaney? It's Clancy. It's still Clancy. And he's pulled and dragged, and it's a penalty.
I mean, at the end of the day, it could have been worse, you know. We could have been only 2 points in front when Davy got the chance. So, I mean, like, we have a draw, and I mean, it's all experience. We have a young team, and I mean, the experience gained on Sunday is invaluable to that team, you know. And I mean, hopefully on Saturday we can come through. Like, I mean, everybody's head was up. Like, there was no thought of anybody had their head down. Like, you know, everybody was had enjoyed the game, the finish. Like, you know, when they thought back in it. Like, and majority all the lads had done well and had done their best. Like, you know, and I mean, Nick was only just saying, like, you know, that we have to do it again next Saturday. It's as simple as that. Like, you know, I mean, there's no point harping on what went on Sunday, because that's gone now. You know, and once the ball is thrown in again next Saturday, I don't think anybody's going to be thinking about how the first game went.
On the field or on the line, Mayo manager John Maughen is no stranger to Croke Park, but success has proved elusive. On the weekend of the Bank of Ireland Connacht football semi-final clash with Roscommon, Maughen talks about future hopes and past disappointments. Combining his day job as civil defence officer with running a pub in Westport can't be as challenging as plotting a road back for a fading Mayo team.
You'll have to excuse me now, I'm going to have to take that. Hello, yes? You are speaking to John Maughen, yes. I was unlucky, like, I mean, there's no doubt about it. I feel hard done by, and it took me a while to accept that. I say it took me the best part of a year, and I had several efforts and attempts to make comebacks, and unfortunately it wasn't to be for me. Like, I mean, here was Mayo playing in an All-Ireland final for the first time in years, and not to be part of it hurt deeply. I got a phone call, a chance phone call, one particular evening, having returned from work. I was living in Galway and working at Loan, and I was asked would I become coach manager of the Clare football team, and I did that in 1990, and it was an interesting break. I was the youngest manager in the country at the time.
from Crossmolina in County Mayo, Clare manager John Maughen.
I'm the man, yeah.
What a transformation he's brought about in a very short space of time.
Challenged by Pat Holmes. Attention early on. Got to.
Well, I do recall getting physically sick after the replayed All-Ireland in 1996 against Meath. It was an All-Ireland that we should have won, there's no question about that, and that hit me very, very hard indeed. Incidentally, going into the All-Ireland campaign, indeed, at the start of that year, there's very, very little expected at Mayo. In fact, we weren't expected to come out of Connacht, but having done so, I felt if we were to get a good run, play reasonably well in the semi-final without embellishing our performance, that there would be a certain amount of a surprise element in the All-Ireland final, and that's the way it worked out. And we found ourselves 6 points up in the drawing game, and unfortunately didn't manage to put Meath away, and they came back and they won the replay by a point, and that was gut-wrenching. I must admit I found that very, very difficult. In fact, it took me months to recover from that. 1997 was different because you know, the whole of the county expected us to win that. Everybody wanted to go to that All-Ireland, not so much to see the game, but to see Mayo register their first All-Ireland. And I had a difficulty trying to keep the players removed from all of that and trying to remove it from myself, because everywhere you went, like, I mean, people were coming home from all over the world. Like, I mean, this was going to be the year. And it was kind of embarrassment and a different kind of hurt. But it was a little bit different. But I think 96 in particular, because I always felt 96 was the year to do it, that was probably the hardest, and particularly when we had led by so much and had played well. 1997, as a team, we didn't play particularly well. We tried, we got our chance, and unfortunately we couldn't take it in 96 and 97. But like, I mean, 99 is a new year. We were unlucky enough, I think, in the first round of the championship on the 25th of May last year against Galway. And Galway rode their luck in that particular game, and they rode their luck all the way, and I'm delighted for them.
Savage trying to get inside the cover. He's got support from Joyce. Here comes Derek Savage. Oh, it's a lovely goal.
It would have been the wrong time to walk away from the team. It's easy to walk away in defeat. And, you know, I did consider my future for a number of weeks, but I felt it would have been the easy thing to do, and I felt that I'd certainly give it at least one more year to see if we could win the elusive. How are you now? Like that? No problem. How are you doing, Pat? Coming up for you. On a hot one or a cold one?
Cold one today, John.
I suppose with the background I've had, coming from a reasonably disciplined type of background in the army, people would expect me to be a hard taskmaster, but I wouldn't think I'm any different than any other manager in the country. You know, man management, every player is different, and it takes a different style to deal with different players, and I do the best that I can. I suppose the fact that Ken McDonald was a high-profile player with Mayo, and the fact that he decided not to continue playing football, that's the reason he's captured more headlines than some of the rest of them. But despite what some of the media might have alluded to in recent weeks, there was no dust-up involving Ken McDonald and John Maughen. Ken McDonald decided he'd want to play football in '99, and that's in the story. There's nothing more that I can say about it. It's toss of a coin between me and Roscommon and next Sunday, so it's one that I feel we have the winning of, providing we put away our chances.
Eight years ago, Dublin and Meath were locked in the middle of an epic four-match struggle. Dublin's centre-back Keith Bauer had the chance to settle it. Heaven or hell.
Remember in 1991 there was the last game over a series of 4 games. It was on a Saturday. It was heading into a very difficult game after three draw matches. So we're heading into the 4th game.
Looking the winners at this stage, but there's quite a way to go yet. And there's great heart and fight in this Meath team. Highly dependent upon Brian Stafford, and right now they watch as Niall Guyden tries to go and secure victory for Dublin.
It was close throughout the game. It came to late in the second half when Declan Sheehan was pulled down and a penalty was given to Dublin. If I was given the responsibility, I stepped up for it. In them days, they didn't have the exclusion zone around the penalty areas as they have today. There was about probably 8 or 9 Dublin footballers to my right, about 4 to me left, and same with Meath players. I hit the ball well that day. Unfortunately, it went wide. But on my left-hand side, there was another Meath footballer, a famous Meath footballer, could have easily taken the penalty himself.
Dublin now to go out of the championship. Away to McQuillan's right-hand side.
Of course, that day it was in the canal end. But today, it's going to be in Hill 16.
Remember the scoreline. Meath 1-8, Dublin 14 points. He's denied Dublin in the past. It's a goal! No, it's outside! It's outside, he's missed it!
I actually struck the ball well, but unfortunately went wide. I remember seeing in the video later on during the week, and Mick Lyons was definitely on my shoulder, but unfortunately he was on my left side. I actually didn't see him at all. He never interfered with my kick at all. But he could have taken the kick himself. He was that close to me. And
a lot of poor marking by Dublin, and it's Tommy Donis carried it right through the heart to Foley.
It obviously lifted to Meath, because Meath went on to score a very good goal and a point from Dave Beggy to polish us off in the last game. But you know, it definitely lifted Meath, and it kind of drained us a bit, I would say. Meath went on to win the game. The following couple of weeks after, it was difficult too, you know, but that's happened. We're into county footballers. You're supposed to accept these things. You win some, you lose some. I was lucky enough to go on and appear in All-Ireland finals after that, so win and lose All-Ireland finals, so it didn't affect me that much to a certain extent.
Sunday is a red-letter day in the annals of Cork hurling goalkeepers. Ger Cunningham's retirement some months ago means that for the first time since 1980, someone else will stand between Cork's goalposts during a championship match. Breaking Ball spoke to Ger and his successor entitled Donal Óg Cusack.
Well, I think like any championship, the dressing room would be filled with tension before the match. You know what I mean? There's a lot of fun during the year. Kind of, you know, you're building up to it. You're enjoying the crack with the lads and a whole lot. But the day of the game is not a fun day. It's a serious day. It's a pressure day, and you know, that day is filled with tension. But you're just waiting to get onto the field. You've trained for it. It's been your match that you're training for all year. It's your first day out.
When you're out in the hurling field, I always wanted to be Jerk on you. You know, when you're playing with the rest of the lads, there was always a big fight who'd be in goals and who was going to be Jerk on him. I suppose in recent years, last year when Jerk got his contact lenses before the Clare game. Luckily enough, I wear contact lenses as well, and we were inside in the toilet before the game trying to sort them out. So I can take credit for that great save against Niall Gilligan.
Cork with no score in the second half so far, put under pressure once more. And that time it's Dan Murphy gets it out, and it's a great stop by Ger Cunningham. A wonderful save, and it's gone wide. That was as good as any he's made since he made his championship debut in '81.
When I came on the scene in 1980, goalkeeper Timmy Murphy was there before me, and then looking back to the 70s in the Trina team, we had Martin Coleman, and prior to him we had Paddy Barry. You know, I suppose Paddy Barry was one of the great characters of goalkeepers in Cork hurling at the time. But funnily enough, like the fact that I never played in goal until I was 16 or 17 meant that probably my heroes when I was coming up and playing hurling were all out-the-field players.
I suppose in the last couple of years, probably if it was someone else that you were sub to, you would have began to get a bit frustrated, but you know, being sub to a legend like Ger, you just have to grin and bear it.
Probably the most important save would have been the save in the All-Ireland final 1990. It probably wouldn't have been the best one, but I got in the way of a shot from Martin Maughen when we were in trouble in the second half, and I blocked the ball in my face. The umpire didn't give a 65. We went down the field, scored a goal, and the whole game turned. We went on to win the double, and I suppose it was an important save from my point of view.
For Donal Óg Cusack, the new era could hardly get off to a tougher start. On Sunday, Cork faced last year's Munster finalist Waterford, with a place in this year's final on the line.
I suppose you would be conscious it would probably be easier for me if there wasn't such a great goalkeeper went before me, you know. I suppose in a way it's inevitable that I'll be compared to Ger, you know. He's been there for so long. I think I was 3 when he was playing in goals for Cork, so I can't remember anyone else being there. But I suppose the day had to come that Ger had to leave and someone had to take over, and luckily it's me, so hopefully things will go as well for me as they did for Ger.
This weekend in Ulster, Derry will be missing Joe Brolly as they try to avenge the 1997 provincial final defeat by Cavan. Waterford's hurlers, with a win already under their belts, will also be looking for revenge against Cork, who defeated them in last year's National League final.
Often teams who come along with a great burst like Waterford did last season find it hard to produce again the following year. They have done that in the first championship win over Limerick. They have shown that they're up for it again, and that they, in some places, are a better team than last year. I think Waterford will win. I think Cork's uncertainty going into the game is symptomatic of a bigger problem there. I think Waterford's big danger was the fact that they had celebrated so openly in Páirc Uí Chaoimh, the fact of beating Limerick. But as the Waterford Minters know, they have never beaten Cork in a big game in recent times, and that motivation will keep their feet on the ground.
Over in the West, last year's beaten finalist Roscommon look to go one better this summer. On Sunday, they take on an established Mayo outfit.
I think Roscommon are going to win it. I think you have a sense with Roscommon that they're a team on the rise, that they're playing with a lot of commitment and a lot of harmony throughout the team. You get that sense of them. I think Mayo will enjoy the fact that they're underdogs now for a change, but I think this Mayo team is in terminal decline, and we'll see that on Sunday.
In Leinster, a battle between would-be emerging counties. Laois faced the team they beat last year, Westmeath, except that now they're the underdogs. The big replay in Cork sees both Clare and Tip make minimal changes in their announced teams. We'll see how they actually line out tomorrow.
I think Clare are going to win this game. I don't think they'll be as bad again. I think there are worries now for their ability to go on and win in All-Ireland, but the motivation of getting a second crack at Tipperary will surely bring better stuff out of the likes of the two Lohans, Seanie McMahon, James O'Connor, and a number of other players who performed below par last weekend. I think an old rule about a draw, in that the team who played well didn't win the game, and the team who played poorly didn't lose the game, governs this game as well, in that I think Tipperary will struggle to play as well again, whereas Clare will struggle to play as poorly again.
Croke Park is the venue for the meeting of the last two Leinster champions, Kildare and Offaly. Injuries rule out Kildare's Niall Buckley and Offaly's Sean Grinnan.
The hopeful point for Offaly is that they still have good attacking forwards, and that is their one main hope on Sunday, that the likes of Vinnie Claffey, Roy Malone, Peter Brady, that these guys, that they can actually produce the scores and accumulate a winning tally. I suspect Kildare will probably win it. I don't think they'll play very impressively, and I think they'll probably annoy a lot of people again this year with their short passing style. But at this stage, they seem to have moved up to a higher plane of performance after last year. Offaly, I suspect, have run out of a bit of steam, run out of momentum since '97, and I just think Kildare overall will probably be just mentally and physically that bit too strong for Offaly.
Finally, on the busiest weekend of the year, Donegal and Armagh head off to Clonus to replay their drawn encounter of a week ago. Judgment Day for Tommy Lyons and the Offaly footballers. After 2 winning years, is there anything left in the tank?
Dethrone the Leinster champions will be a very difficult thing to do, because Kildare have done very well, and Kildare will have a big hunger to try and get back and succeed where they failed last year. We have a big hunger to try and, you know, maybe build on what we've achieved so far. So something has to give, and hopefully it'll be Kildare.
Back to Carol O'Dwyer, and his debut in the Kildare colours. He swings it high, and puts it over the bar.
I think defensively they defend in numbers. They always get 7, 8, 9 behind the ball. And the Willie McCreary who always seems to arrive into these places from nowhere. They're all good footballers and they're playing good football.
Obviously we have to be confident that we're going to beat them. I think if you're going into the game thinking you're going to lose, you know, you might as well not show up. So yeah, I think we're well prepared. Things are going well. So I think on June the 13th we'll be well capable of beating Kildare.
When Tommy Lyons, Eddie Fleming and myself got involved in August '96, we looked at the setup in Offaly and what was required for Offaly to win a Leinster Championship and possibly an All-Ireland Championship. We put together a plan for training, for team preparation, for the development of all the players. And our focus was improving the performance of every player and improving the team performance. And I suppose you could say that by winning a Leinster Championship in '97 and a league in '98, our plans worked.
I don't think Offaly will go back to where they were in '96 for a long time, because I think the Nucleus have a good young team coming. I think they have, okay, the few old guys like Peter Brady and Vinnie Claffey who are probably maybe on their last season. But there's good young lads coming through. We've a lot of young lads actually on the squad at the moment. They mightn't make it this year, but they've had the experience of training with the team this year. And there's certainly 10 or 11 players there with Offaly who could certainly bring this team onto great things.
We're very happy the way we're going. Like, we were very unlucky with a few results. Like, we drew with Tyrone and we had 2 chances off the line in the last minute. Cork got a goal against us in the last minute to level the match. You know, if those 2 results went our way, we could have been in the shake-up for the league quarter-final, but it doesn't make much difference to teams if they don't qualify for the latter stages of the league. We're happy enough. Our form came good and we had a good game against Galway. We were unlucky there as well, and training's been going well, so we're happy enough.
I certainly wanted to defend the title, and there's no question. I think there's a lot of things written that weren't accurate about the league for Offaly this year. But, you know, we set about that we weren't going to start training until after Christmas. And you know, we thought we could at least win 2 of the 3 league games before Christmas. And we drew 2 of them and lost 1. And after Christmas, we had one awful bad performance up in Armagh. And after that, I think we've done all right in the league.
This year's league was a disappointment to Offaly. We set out to win all the games as they came along. It didn't work out like that for us. But our primary focus this year has been on the Leinster Championship.
The build-up to the game has been very good. Basically from day one since the draw was made, the expectations have been very high of a good game. The fact that Offaly and Kildare, neighbouring counties, I suppose adds a bit of bite to the game. You know, Offaly and Kildare in a way are pretty similar, 2 fit footballing teams, so I'm sure, from a neutral point of view, I'm sure they'll be looking forward to a good open football game.
What every player wants is to be playing in front of 60,000 against the big teams, and Kildare are one of the big teams, as they showed last year, being in the All-Ireland. And come June 13th, there's going to be a full house, and we're there as the underdogs, and rightly so. Kildare was showing great form last year in the All-Ireland final, so I don't know, it's just great to be there, to be a big draw. That's what we've trained for, that's what we want.
Won the National League.
You can win leagues and you can do everything you like, but championship is championship. And I think, you know, I'll be all fired up on the day. All our team will be fired up. That's championship. That's what the GA is about. That's the tribalism that we have that no other sport has, and that's what makes it great.
Next week on Breaking Ball, the non-stop rivalry of Wexford and Offaly. Plus coaching with Anne-Marie Curran. And the craft of Jimmy Ryan.